It's a soggy night in the Bay Area as we start Mountain West Conference play tonight. In the South Bay in San Jose, number 25, Utah State, taking on the San Jose State Spartans at Provident Credit Union Event Center on the campus of San Jose State University. Along with Richie Schuler, Roxy Bernstein with you, and it's hard to believe, here we are, Richie, early December, conference play is here.
You believe that? And Utah State's going to be the heavy favorite here. This is the first of two Mountain West Conference games before the holiday break. And you know, both teams want to get off to a hot start, so we're going to see a lot of competitive basketball tonight.
Well, the reigning Mountain West Conference Player of the Year, Sam Merrill, leads the way again for the Aggies in starting league play tonight.
He's outstanding. He's an outstanding three-point shooter, almost 50% from behind the arc, but he's going to shoot some pull-ups off mid-range, off of handoffs, that kind of thing. He's quick with the basketball, but he's an underrated defender and really an underrated passer. He is the truth in the front runner to be Player of the Year again in the Mountain West.
Utah State got off to a 7-0 start this season, coming into tonight's game, ranked 25th. And then they lost. You were there Friday night over in Moraga in a terrific ball game with St. Mary's.
They were outstanding. It was a great game. St. Mary's played really good. The problem with it was Utah State's a team that usually out-rebounds people by 12, 13 rebounds a game. They got out-rebounded by St. Mary's by 2, and that was a big hiccup. Look for Utah State to really crash the boards and make that a point of emphasis in tonight's game.
For San Jose State, they come in at 3 and 5 as your starting lineups are across the bottom of your screen. Still no Neemias Queta for Utah State and Craig Smith, as he's now missed the first 9 games of the season. He's getting closer. And we asked Craig Smith earlier today, Richie, at shoot around, and it's going to be sooner than later that Queta will be back for Utah State.
And they should hope so. He's a legitimate NBA prospect after this season if he wants to go, and he can really tear it up inside. Right now, Utah State does not have a great back-to-the-basket post player in the lineup.
The floater from Justin Bean for the game's first points, and Bean averaging a double-double this season, 15 points, 11 rebounds. He's at 5 double-doubles already in their first 8 games, including each of the last 3.
You're going to see Utah State, they really emphasize touching the paint at least one time every possession. They want to go inside out with their attack, but at the same time, they're taking about 22, 23 three-pointers per game. They're looking to hoist it up.
And a turnover by San Jose State. That's been an issue for Jean Crelo's team so far this year. They're turning it over 17 times per game.
Well, that's been a big issue for them, turning the basketball over and not shooting it well. If they can get those two categories, you know, at least reasonable, they're going to be much more competitive throughout the course of the season. Now, they've had a hellacious schedule thus far, playing a lot of Pac-12 teams and big-time programs, but they have the capabilities. This is the best team that Coach Prelo's had in his 3 years here at San Jose State.
Justin Bean with all 4 for Utah State. Shot clock at 10 for the Spartans. And the long 2 straight on off the mark from Samuel Jeffetta Matthias.
If you're Utah State, you want to push the basketball. San Jose State has gone to a matchup zone for most of the season, and that's what they want to do. They want to force bad 2-point shots in contested threes.
Well challenged by Jeffetta Matthias there. Bray Ivy spots up and gets San Jose State on the board.
San Jose State, a much improved team, longer, more athletic. They've got some transfers, a good sophomore class. In this zone, they got a lot of confidence in this matchup zone. It's given a lot of teams some problems so far.
Justin Bean giving the Spartans problems. He has all 6 for Utah State. And San Jose State already has a really good win, Richie. They went on the road in their opener and won at Hofstra, a team that won 27 games last year.
And you talk about Craig Lassen, big man for San Jose State. He had a double-double in that game, 19 and 11, 23 points for Richard Washington in that game.
And they hit some big threes down the stretch of that game to pull away with the win. Brock Miller missing from deep, and the rebound run down by Omari Moore, a talented freshman for the Spartans. And then Moore has it knocked out of bounds off of San Jose State. Will go the other way. It belongs to the Aggies.
Well, here's the defense right here by San Jose State. I like the defense, walling up down inside, not allowing it to get an easy shot off. Then you go on the other end, and boom, wide open Bray Ivy for a 3-point shot in transition.
Already 3 turnovers by San Jose State. We haven't even played 3 minutes.
Like you said, that has been their Achilles heel. That's been an issue for them. Now, the good thing for San Jose State, they are not shooting a good field goal percentage on the season, but they have been a good rebounding team so far this year. They've out-rebounded their opponents, despite playing 3 Pac-12 teams and some other teams with a lot of length and big men. So Coach Prelo doing a good job emphasizing the rebounding. You have to be able to rebound the basketball to win basketball games. And
the block from Christian Anigwe. And it stays with Utah State. Anigwe, a talented, athletic big.
For Justin Bean facing up. Anigwe right there. You see his length. 6'9", 215. The guy that came off a 14-point rebound game against Oregon State, and 7 of those were offensive. He is long and athletic.
Justin Bean again doing it inside and finding some space inside that zone, and San Jose State's got to figure out how to match up with him.
Coach Prelo talked quite a bit about trying to take away three-point shots and only make sure that the twos that they take are contested. And Justin Bean, you're right, he's getting off of it wherever he wants around the basket.
And Omari Moore saves it from going into the backcourt. 7 to shoot. Bray Ivy for San Jose State. And a foul before the shot. It's on the floor against Utah State. Craig Smith now in his 2nd year at Utah State, the reigning Mountain West Coach of the Year, and what an amazing job he did in his first season, as it was Nevada and Utah State tying for the regular season title. Utah State winning the Mountain West tournament and getting the Aggies back to the NCAA tournament for the first time since 2010-2011.
We talked a lot with Craig Smith about that, and he said the previous 2 seasons before they got there, he had won 5 true road games. Nice shot, top of the key.
Seneca Knight hits a 3, and some of that young talent for Jean Prelo, the sophomore, pulls San Jose State within 2.
Craig Smith from Utah State was talking, we've got to be better on the road. 5 total the previous 2 years. Last year, they had 9 true road game wins, and they're hoping to continue that through the rest of this year.
First points for Sam Merrill. Check it in for Utah State is Diogo Brito, the senior from Portugal. Also in is Alfonso Anderson, junior forward who just came up with a loose ball. And Abel Porter checking in as well for Utah State.
Look at that ball movement. Great passing between the teammates.
Alfonso Anderson off on the 3, and the rebound, Christian Anigwe.
That's where they want to go. They want to go inside out. Great defense by Anderson down inside for Utah State, not allowing that ball to go inside.
Bray Ivy drains his 2nd 3. He can shoot the ball. He's got a pretty stroke.
Yeah, you know what? He had struggled. Coming into the game, he was under 30% from behind the arc, but you know he can shoot the basketball. Senior leader, playing that point guard spot. He's capable of being a knockdown 3-point threat.
And the reach-in foul, and Samuel Jafet Mathias knew it right away, threw his hand up into the air, but San Jose State hanging with number 25 Utah State early.
Yeah, both these teams shooting the 3 ball. Good ball movement by Utah State. That's your player of the year, Sam Merrill, for the 3-point shot, but Bray Ivy has something to say about that, hitting his 2nd 3-pointer on the night.
Well, Justin Bean off to a good start for Utah State. He has 8 of the Aggies' 11, and he is wreaking havoc so far early against the San Jose State zone.
You came here as a walk-on. Now he's a redshirt sophomore, and you see how active he is. All energy, all effort, all the time. He catches the ball at the elbow or in the short corners, and he just makes plays. Energizer Bunny, and just completely tough, hard-nosed.
And a pretty remarkable story. And we asked Craig Smith earlier today if he saw this coming with Justin Bean, in terms of Justin Bean, again, you alluded to, he's a walk-on, averaged 4 points, 4 rebounds a game last year. He's averaging 15 points, 11 rebounds to start this season.
He's the only player in the Mountain West Conference averaging a double-double. I mean, you're right, he is tough. And, you know, he said he really started to, well, he actually said from the June before his freshman year that he actually played, about a year and a half ago, he never expected to see what he's become now. It's incredible. Jamaican Classic MVP, averaging 14 and 13 a game. And, hey, there's a flagrant foul right there on Alfonso Anderson before the break.
They called a flagrant 1 on Samuel Jafet Mathias because he made no play on the ball. So it was a flagrant 1, so 2 free throws and Utah State with the ball. And the Aggies lead it by 3 as Diogo Brito missing from downtown, and hitting the deck hard and going down crashing is Justin Bean.
But that's what I'm saying. He's got a knack for the basketball. He knows exactly where it's going to be. Remember when Dennis Rodman was playing, they said he knew exactly where it was going to go after a shot. And he knows exactly where to go and get. Look at him go up and get it. I just hope his elbow's okay. He landed hard on that right elbow.
Foul on Christian Anigwe of San Jose State. Bean is hardest worker. He's all over the place for Craig Smith in Utah State as the rebound secured by Richard Washington. The guy can really shoot the ball off of the bench for Jean Prilo and San Jose State. Here is Anigwe inside. Out of the double team. And it's out of bounds. It stays with San Jose State. 12 on the shot clock is Sean Bairstow checking in for Utah State.
You saw the double team inside the post, and expect Utah State to do that for the duration of the game. San Jose State has struggled from behind the arc. 25-26%. They're looking to double team and force San Jose State to take contested three-point shots towards the end of the shot clock. Utah State doesn't respect the three-point shot from San Jose State, so I'm expecting to see a lot of double teams inside to kick it out.
Not only is Utah State without Emias Keita still, but Kuba Karvovsky is out with an illness. Another 7-footer, so down 2 7-footers in this matchup tonight. And San Jose State climbs within 1 as Christian Anigwe gets his first points.
No, Karvovsky being out of the game against St. Mary's was a big hit for them in that loss over there in Morocco. You know, he's only 4 points a game, 3 boards, but he's almost 2 blocks a game, and he's a guy that really changes shots and prevents the opponent from shooting the basketball down inside. Without his presence, I think St. Mary's really benefited.
And a foul out top, and the hand check on Sam Merrill of Utah State. His first, second on the Aggies. And good response after Utah State jumped out to a 5-point lead. San Jose State has chipped in to get right back in there. As Anigwe getting a breather. And the first appearance for Ralph Agee. 6'8" junior from Victorville down in Southern California. Zach Chappelle backing in. Ray Ivey, a step back, missing the 3. Agee tips the rebound out to Zach Chappelle, and the floater had a good look, and it's cleared by Utah State, Diogo Brito. Run to the floor, Bairstow, and a foul will send him to the line, and the freshman from Australia.
It was an outstanding pass by Brito up the floor. Bounce pass, hitting the sideline for his teammate Bairstow. Watch this. Gets the rebound, takes 2-3 dribbles, and passes up the floor. So it took 3 dribbles total to get the ball from one end to the other end, and they get a good shot off.
Sean Bairstow, 3 for 4 at the line so far in his freshman season. He's from Brisbane, Australia. Bairstow's name is well known in Mountain West circles. His older brother, Cam, was an all-Mountain West performer playing at New Mexico, plays pro in Australia now. His older sister, Stephanie, was a player at Utah State about 5 years ago.
Keep it in the family, huh?
Exactly. 2-point lead for Utah State. Coming off that loss to St. Mary's on Friday here in the Bay Area. They went home in between. On the drive, the roll, it goes, and Richard Washington has tied the game.
We talked about the big game he had at Hofstra, 23 points. He is capable of getting off and scoring a lot of buckets, only averaging 10 points a game, but you see his athleticism and how skilled he is.
The drop step, impressive move by Trevin Dorius, the redshirt freshman from Heber City, Utah. Gives Utah State the lead again. Washington hit 3 huge threes down the stretch. It was tight the entire way between San Jose State and Hofstra as that rattles falls off for Seneca Knight. And a foul in Utah State. But that was a really good win for Jean Prilo in San Jose State. You're on the road opening your season. You go all the way across the country, Richie, and you're taking on a team that had won 27 games a year ago.
Right. It gives a lot of confidence to his players and his program, a program that has not won under his reign. And now in his 3rd year, you know, I really think this is his best team. He's got his longest team. I think he has a team that has more skills and athleticism. Now here's the thing, for San Jose State to be competitive, I think they have to knock down more three-point shots.
They're checking the monitor here. The last foul was called on Utah State, and it was against Diogo Brito, and they're trying to determine if it should be a shooting foul or not for San Jose State. But here's a replay. But you alluded to the talent and the skill set. It's young, and this is a growing program right now under Jean Prilo.
It is, and by the way, looking at this replay right here, I would say, do you give that on the shot? Or is that continuation? I would say that's 2 free throws. He was in the act of shooting at the time of the foul. But here's the thing, San Jose State has players that can knock down the three-point ball. You watch practice, you look at their statistics from practice, they're shooting in the 40s. But as a team in games, they're at 25%. Now, maybe that's because they're playing some of these Power 5 teams with a lot more length and more difficult to try to shoot over top of those guys. But when they get in conference play, I think their three-point shooting is going to really increase.
So it's a non-shooting foul to be out of bounds for San Jose State. They're actually checking for a flagrant on Seneca Knight for the elbow thrown potentially to Brito, but they determined it was a basketball play. Therefore, no foul against San Jose State there. So the ruling on the floor was a foul on Utah State. Shot clock at 10. Zach Chappelle underneath the bucket, and Ralph Agee's shot was changed by Trevin Dorius.
Utah State has numbers. They got to take advantage of this 5-on-4.
Corner 3, no good from Brock Miller.
That's what usually happens when you hesitate to shoot the three-pointer. Oftentimes you're short. You'd like to see Brock Miller in transition. Just get that ball and knock it down. He's been so good about that most of his career.
Amari Moore to the bucket, and we're tied. First points for the freshman.
He's coming off a game where he had 11 points against UCLA.
In the post, and a foul on Ralph Agee of San Jose State. We're tied, and San Jose State hanging with number 25, Utah State.
The freshman Omari Moore taking it to the basket, not afraid to take it into the big fellas, the trees of Utah State. San Jose State making it a ball game.
Utah State, the reigning Mountain West Conference champions. And how about we've had 5 different winners in 5 seasons in the Mountain West?
Isn't that incredible? At the same time, there's been, 2-3 bids as of late.
Last year, Nevada, Utah State getting in. Here's a look at the record so far. Opening conference play tonight. San Diego State with an impressive showing against Colorado State tonight to get league play going.
That's incredible. Brian Dutcher, San Diego State, and now I believe in his 3rd year as head coach. This is his best team in the Mountain West. I went and watched the practice about a month and a half ago. There are no weak links on that team.
Are they the biggest threat to Utah State?
I would say so, but New Mexico, they had a lot of talent last year, but a lot of it was injured. New Mexico, I think, is looking really good this year. They've got it together, guys are healthy, and they're playing much better together this year than they were a year ago.
San Jose State a chance for the lead. Richard Washington missing from long range. Sam Merrill the rebound. Here comes Utah State. Who else are you looking at, Richie, in the Mountain West that could pose threats?
Well, when you talk about those teams, you're definitely talking about those 3 right there. Utah State, San Diego State, New Mexico. And,
Boise State's an interesting team to me.
Boise's interesting to me. Colorado State, I think, is on the rise. Fresno State, I really like what Justin Hudson's done. His first year last year, but he's got a whole new group this year, so it remains to be determined on that. But you never know. Great pass, by the way.
Ralph Agee, who lost his shoe at the other end, was tardy in getting back up the floor. That's why Trevin Dorius had an easy bucket.
That's why you play those 3-on-2, 2-on-1 drills. You try to be able to play defense with less guys on the floor for situations like that.
Stays with San Jose State. In that situation, though, do you just leave the shoe behind? Do you run to the other end and just go get it later? He's putting it on to the backcourt.
I would probably run to the other end. Yeah, because he's jogging back. It's not like he was sprinting back to help out. But at the same time, it's not all on him. His teammates have to recognize somebody's missing. He's down the floor trying to tie his shoe. You got to play 5-on-4 basketball.
Bring your shoe with you and throw it at the basketball if you need to. Good block from Diogo Brito. Kept alive by San Jose State. Flying down the lane, Richard Washington comes up empty.
I love the intensity level that San Jose State's playing with. They are playing with a lot of confidence right now. Shooting the ball good. They're out rebounding Utah State on the early going.
They had a spark at shoot-around today. They were excited about the challenge. Taking on number 25 Utah State. A foul on Zach Chappelle of the Spartans. But conference play was starting. You're playing unanimous pick to win the league. So you could tell there was a certain energy about them, and they knew they had an opportunity tonight to stun a lot of people.
If I'm on San Jose State's team, I have a chip on my shoulder. The league picked us to finish last. And here we are in early December with the team that was picked to win it because they won it a year ago, or at least were tied a year ago during the regular season before the conference tournament. They're coming into our house with a chance to beat them. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm playing with a lot of confidence coming into this game.
Both Utah State and Nevada going 15-3 last year as the floater from Diogo Brito.
Well, that's another team, Nevada. Yeah, I know they don't have. Oh, that's a player control foul.
They called a block.
I thought Chappelle put
Abel
his elbow
Porter
out.
his first. But a new coach in Reno is Steve Alford taking over for Eric Musselman, who's now the head coach at Arkansas.
Right there, I thought that Chappelle moved his right arm. It could have been a player control. It goes either way. But, I mean, Steve Alford is a phenomenal coach. He's had success wherever he's gone. But they don't have the talent that they once had. But under Coach Alford's leadership, they are going to be competitive. They're going to be a tough game night in, night out for anybody.
Turnover by the Aggies. Greg Smith a little frustrated right there with his offense. First turnover, by the way, committed by Utah State. Inside to Christian Inigwe. And he goes up and draws the foul. Two shots coming up for the sophomore from Phoenix. Sunday on ABC and the ESPN app will have the Lone Star Showdown. The battle in the hardwood between Texas A&M and Texas at the new Dickies Arena. Downtown Fort Worth, 3 Eastern, 2 Central. They haven't met in the regular season since the Aggies beat the Longhorns, the 2015 battle for Atlantis.
Well, Texas looking pretty good, aren't they? 7-1. Matt Coleman, Andrew Jones, 2 guys averaging 12 to 14 points per game, but both big-time 3-point shooters. Texas could make a big run this year.
Foul on Justin Bean, his first. One more for Inigwe. And the rebound falls to Justin Bean. Already 4 rebounds for Utah State's leading rebounder. Now is a little bit of a wrap on his elbow after that hard fall earlier.
He wants it. They're trying to front him inside and not let him get the basketball, but look at that, Brock Miller.
Sent back by Omari Moore. Brock Miller. Moore blocks a second shot this possession. And a shot clock violation. Outstanding defense from the freshman from Pasadena, Omari Moore.
Look at the bench of San Jose State. They're all up in the air. He forced one shot, and then here forces another shot because the shot clock's running down. Can't do much for the confidence of Brock Miller.
Making his second start for the Spartans tonight. And a 3 from the corner. And it's a tie ball game, as Trey Smith, who's played sparingly this year, a walk-on with the bucket.
We're talking to Coach Prelo before the game. We talked about that 25% three-point shooting. He said, look, we're going to keep shooting it, though. We're going to do this all year long. Eventually, we're going to get out of this cold streak, and we're going to be just fine. And you're seeing it here. Their biggest game of the season thus far, because it's conference play, they're knocking down three-point shots.
Rattles in for Richard Washington, and San Jose State has the lead. First lead for the Spartans.
Watch this matchup zone. See how they guard it. When the ball goes in the corner, oftentimes you're seeing the big man inside have to go to the corner to take away the corner 3.
And a foul is Abel Porter. We'll head to the line for Utah State. The foul on Trey Smith of San Jose State, but the Spartans giving all number 25 Utah State can handle right now.
The skilled, athletic lefty, Richard Washington. You don't know if he's going to drive it to the hole or pull up for the mid-range shot. He's had success tonight with both.
Celebrities in attendance tonight here in the South Bay. Josh Love was recently named the Mountain West Offensive Player of the Year. The quarterback for San Jose State did a great job. The former walk-on for Brent Brennan, the head coach here at San Jose State. A 5-win season, a much improved year for San Jose State football, throwing for nearly 4,000 yards, and the first San Jose State Conference Player of the Year since 1990.
He's had a smile on his face the entire time the camera's been on him.
Well, they're up. His team's up too. He's pumped. He sees the Spartans are on a 6-0 run.
And he's had a phenomenal season.
They beat Arkansas this year, and just over the weekend, a huge win for San Jose State people. They knocked off their arch rivals, Fresno State, as Abel Porter missing from the line.
14 of Utah State's 19 points have come from inside the paint. A bucket and second chance. They got 5 offensive rebounds, Utah State. But man, San Jose State is just, yeah, they're turning the ball over a little bit too much, but they are shooting that rock on the other end.
Utah State picking up full court here.
Took away half the shot clock as a result.
Shot clock inside 10 now. Seneca Knight drives. The dish crashing into the key, and a charge on Seneca Knight, his first foul.
Well done by the Player of the Year, Sam Merrill, to be right in the right spot for help side rotation. Helping his teammate now. Justin Bean gets beat off the dribble, but the Player of the Year steps up for the charge.
17 foul on San Jose State, but not a shooting foul. Utah State in the bonus for the rest of the first half. Sam Merrill on the drive, and Merrill a charge, and that's the second foul on Sam Merrill with 6:27 left in the half.
San Jose State returning the favor. I love help side defense. I talk about it all the time. Look, one guy gets beat off the dribble, but your teammate there to help you out. Great rotation. Had it not been a charge, though, it would have been a Justin Bean highlight dunk.
Let me ask you this, Richie, with 6.5 minutes to go, just under now. For Craig Smith, Sam Merrill just picked up his second foul. How do you handle the rest of the first half with Merrill?
Every coach has a different philosophy on it. Me personally, I'd probably take him out of the basketball game. You have some other really good players out there that can score like the way Sam Merrill does. You wonder how much longer he'll keep him in.
The Euro step from Diogo Brito, and Utah State reclaims the lead. Craig Smith looks like he's going to trust his star player.
He is.
Not to pick up a third before halftime.
I believe the same thing happened against St. Mary's. Wow.
Christian Anigwe, his second three-pointer of the season. He has 6, and the Spartans lead it by 2.
Well, during preseason, I remember Mountain West Media Day, they talked about how Anigwe would shoot some more threes this year. He's 2 of 10 now, but you can see he's got a nice-looking stroke on him.
Lob underneath, and a travel before Alfonso Anderson could go back up. And some frustration you can see it on the face of Craig Smith, the head coach of Utah State.
So at St. Mary's, I believe it was Justin Bean that collected his second foul in the first half. Didn't have a rebound. Remember, he averages 11-12 a game. Number 34 for Utah State. They kept him in the game. He got his third foul in the first half before taking him out. Still ended up with 10 or 11 rebounds because he just dominated the boards in the second half.
It's a little different, though, when you have a 4 power forward as opposed to a wing and a 2-guard, as Christian Anigwe missing that 3.
I think it depends on the type of team you're playing. I mean, if you got a team that's going to be posting up a lot and the ball goes down inside, you're more likely to foul. But if you're playing against a team like San Jose State, they have some penetrators. It's easy to pick up that third foul.
Here's a tough 3 from the corner, and it rattles in. They'll check it at the next timeout. They're ruling it a 2 for now, as Diogo Brito hits the tough shot. And we are tied for the moment at 24.
Brito talked to him about that new three-point line, and he said, hey, man, I love the new three-point line. I've been playing that FIBA international three-point line since I was 12 years old, coming from Portugal.
The crossover. And the drive. Abel Porter missing the follow from Alfonso Anderson.
A lot of offensive rebounds. I think that's 7 now for Utah State.
26-24, number 25, Utah State with the lead. Pass deflected, recovered by San Jose State. Now a steal for Justin Bean. Diogo Brito looks like he turned an ankle. Hobbling a bit, and a turnover. Leads to a run out. Seneca Knight to the bucket. Count it and one.
That's what turnovers can do for you. Force a turnover, you're going to have numbers on the other end. San Jose State playing with all the confidence in the world against the best team in the Mountain West.
Second foul on Abel Porter. How about San Jose State, Richie?
Went for the foul, and Knight says, yo, I'm getting that layup and one.
Stay tuned for the E-Trade halftime report with Kevin Connors, Seth Greenberg, and the Fonz. LaFonso Ellis, Big Ten ACC Challenge recap. Big picture conversation all coming up on the E-Trade halftime report. So the last shot, they were looking at it during the timeout, is Diogo Brito injured his ankle. But here is what they were looking at to see if it was a 2 or a 3 with Diogo Brito shooting from the corner.
I think there's no question that is behind the arc.
So Michael Reed and Tommy Nunez coming over and seeing on our monitor, as our monitor had a better look than their monitor. So
hey,
we're better than them.
Yeah, I mean, what do you say? We got great cameramen, do we not?
Exactly. Well,
great
clearly
angles.
because they came to see our view.
Exactly.
So it was a 3, so Utah State is now up 1. So give that bucket a 3 to Diogo Brito's now getting looked at the end of the bench when he seemed to turn an ankle. And there is the senior getting looked at, and watch the foot here on the step back.
Ah, that left ankle. Yep. Landed the foot, pivot foot, I believe it was. He's got to get tightened back up.
So they're taping that left ankle. Seneca Knight for the +1 free throw. And it rims out of the rebound, controlled by Trevin Dorius.
You know, I thought one thing coming into this game, yeah, San Jose State had to get hot from 3. Utah State rebound well like they have been all season long, but get to that foul line. They only have 6 free throws on the game. And that's one area where they're just absolutely outstanding as a team behind the arc, or behind the free throw strike.
And the block from Seneca Knight is Justin Bean going up underneath. 8 to shoot for the Aggies. San Jose State has made 5 of 10 from 3. Utah State has struggled from outside the arc.
I mean, look at that. He caught the ball in the short corner, and he was close enough to try to dunk it had it not been contested.
Here's Merrill. Fires. Fouled on a 3 by Zach Chappelle.
Utah State is 77% from the free throw line as a team, which is incredible. Sam Merrill, 88%. So not a guy you want to foul when he's taking a 3-point shot.
Utah State 27th in the country in 3-point shooting. The Women's Jimmy V Classic presented by Corona Sunday at 4 Eastern, 1 Pacific on ESPN and the ESPN app. Notre Dame and number 4 UConn. From stores at Gamble Pavilion, the Huskies are 3-0 against the Irish in the Women's Jimmy V Classic, have won 8 of their last 10 against their rivals. Number 4 UConn, Notre Dame. Merrill 1 out of 2 so far.
UConn women's basketball is looking like UConn again, aren't they? 6-0. Megan Walker, 20 points a game, 9 boards, shooting almost 50% from behind the arc. And then right there next to her is Kristen Williams, 18 points a game, 5 boards. That's always a good rivalry game to watch.
The putback off the miss by Justin Bean as Sam Merrill uncharacteristically goes 1 of 3 from the line. But they still end up with 3 points that possession. And it's a 4-point lead for Utah State. Corner jumper. Ralph Agee off the mark, and Utah State clears. Abel Porter on the drive. Has it knocked away. Porter slow to get up. Richard Washington rattles out the three, and Trevin Dorius the rebound for the Aggies.
That shot's right there.
It's all the way down and popped out. Not James Harden all the way down and out.
that cleared the net, by the way. It got 2 points. Would they have won the game had that counted?
Open three. Abel Porter the miss. Here comes San Jose State. Richard Washington goes at Merrill, who has the 2 fouls, and Merrill lays off. But then Utah State losing the rebound out of bounds, and Jean Prilo upset, telling Washington, go at him, he's got 2 fouls.
Exactly, I thought he should have. He kind of did the hop step. Now, he is a lefty, Richard Washington. You want him to go all the way with his left hand and take it right to Sam Merrill, try to get his 3rd foul, but he does a little hop step to the right. And he has an off-balance little mini jumper in front of the rim.
And
just
Merrill backed off.
Yeah, just
because he knows he can't get his 3rd.
Yeah.
Here's a tough 3, and it goes for Isaiah Nichols. Just his 2nd 3-pointer of the season. He hadn't played in 3 of the last 4 games coming in, and now he pulls San Jose State within 1. 6 threes for San Jose State in the first half. Sam Merrill, who's played for about 4 minutes now with the 2 fouls. And the rebound, Christian Inigwe. A chance for the lead again for San Jose State. Would you go at Merrill?
Absolutely. I was just about to say that. And that's exactly what he just did. Sam Merrill was guarding him. He went at him. He beat Sam Merrill. Utah State had an extra defender back there to help out. I think it was Trevin Dorius.
2nd on Dorius. And at the line, it'll be Isaiah Nichols to shoot 2.
That's a good move to the basket. If you get all the way inside the paint like that, as a defending team, that's bad news for you. You let the offense get in there, oftentimes they're going to make a play or they're going to get fouled.
Senior from Oxnard hit a game-winning bucket against Utah State as a sophomore. Last time that San Jose State beat the Aggies, you got to go back a couple of years ago, as that was in February of 18. Utah State has won 23 of the last 24 matchups between these 2 teams. For Utah State to see Diogo Brito coming back after rolling that ankle.
It's good news for the Aggies. Diogo Brito, another 3-point threat, an area they've struggled right now. The great thing about Brito, too, is he plays like on the wing. He's a small forward, but he can play the point guard if needed. Abel Porter wasn't able to. Sam Merrill. Brito's next in line.
And San Jose State has the lead again. Here is Merrill. Leans in. Couldn't get it to go. Underneath. Foul counted. Alfonso Anderson and 1.
That's why you never give up on the ball. Keep attacking the offensive glass. Utah State has been terrific at that here in this game. And you see Alfonso Anderson, when he gets the basketball, he's really good at using that shot fake there. It's one big power dribble, and he goes straight up. Kind of bullies his way to the basket, doesn't he?
Second foul on Bray Ivy, and Anderson, a big physical player at 6'6", 220, the junior from North Idaho Junior College. He began his college career at Montana. Tacoma, Washington native. Missing the free throw, but kept alive by Brock Miller. And a reset for Utah State. And now Craig Smith getting Sam Merrill out of the game. A pretty reverse, but it wouldn't go for Anderson to follow. And a huge first half continues for Justin Bean.
He is so versatile. He knows exactly where to be. He can play anywhere on the floor except for maybe the point guard spot, but he is just a warrior getting the rebounds.
12 points, 6 boards for Bean. On the drive, off balance, and a foul will put Omari Moore at the line for San Jose State.
I'm going to be honest with you, I'm really impressed by San Jose State's ability to beat the defense off the bounce and get into the paint. They've gotten into the paint quite a bit. There he is, Coach Jean Prilo doing a good job, really good job, getting these guys to attack the basket, get into the paint, try to get to the foul line. And if not, you got open 3-point shots.
One more for Omari Moore. Now 7 of 9 from the line on the season. And now getting offense back on the floor for the last shot as Sam Merrill comes back for Utah State. 1-point game.
Should be one possession here. Utah State can walk it up, slow it down. There's Brito running the point guard.
San Jose State has been within arm's reach the entire way. They've even led at a couple of occasions. Utah State's largest lead has been 5 here in the first half. Number 25 team in the country, tested in their Mountain West opener here tonight in San Jose. Here's Sam Merrill. Nice stutter step on the drive. Merrill finishes. Nice chance from half court. Off the mark from Seneca Knight, and a tight one in San Jose. Just a 3-point lead for Utah State.
I really like how San Jose State's come ready to play in the opening game of Mountain West Conference play.
Coming up next after the break, it's the E-Trade halftime report.